Hey guys, here's Gia again, and this time we are talking about introductory paragraphs. You know, of course, that your introductory paragraph has to end with your thesis statement, but now let's look at the types of introductory paragraphs that we have. So I'll move this aside a little, maybe up to about here, and that should be good. So let's take a look at these paragraphs. Oh, now that's a big catch. Now, how do you hook a big fish like that? Well, that's sort of your introductory paragraph there. Your introductory paragraph is a hook to catch a big fish, and the fish you're trying to catch is the reader. How do you catch a salmon? Gotta have a hook. The first kind of introduction that we're going to talk about are, let's see if I can move this away somewhere. I'm going to move myself over here. You don't need to see my face anyway. All right, I'm going to talk about the first kind of introduction, which is called a general to specific introduction. The general to specific introduction is the kind where you start out with a general statement such as, how about all people want to be happy? That's pretty general. And then what you do is you narrow it down and down and down, sort of like this image over here. That thing is called a funnel. You see it's wide at the top, and then it narrows down at the bottom. So you narrow it down to your thesis statement, which could be whatever. You could say, how about, in order to be happy, people need to feel that there is a purpose to their lives. So a general to specific introduction is one that starts out wide and general, becomes narrower and narrower until you get to your thesis statement at the end. Okay, another kind that I like a lot is an anecdote introduction. Do you remember? An anecdote means a short story, a little story. It could be a first-person story, I and me and so on, or it could be a third-person story, he or she or they. And it doesn't even have to be real. It actually could be made up. I'm never going to know whether it's true or not. Telling a little story to introduce your essay, that's a lot like people do in, for example, newspapers. Journalists do that. Remember, have you noticed that they very often start with a little story, like John came home and found that his wife had disappeared, or something. You start with a little story. The idea is to make the reader try to identify with what you are writing and try to be like one of them, or imagine that they can be like one of the people there. So that's a second kind of introduction. A third kind of introduction is a historical introduction, or what I often call from past to present kind of introduction. So for example, you could talk about, any topic whatsoever, you can find something to write about how it was in the past. In this case, it's a picture from the Vietnam War, or as the Vietnamese call it, the American War. And then it goes down like war is horrible, right? That's just thing in the past. In the past, this is what happened. Now what happens is so and so, and that leads you to your thesis statement. Now, the main thing about the introductory paragraph is that it is a hook. It's trying to hook your reader. It's not telling the points of your essay. The points of your essay are going to be in the body of the essay. The hook is just there to catch the fish. And so that's your beginning, your introductory statement. It's the hook, not the fish itself. Now let me move my video out of the way a little bit. I'll move it over here. There. Now it's out of the way. So I do want to say, though, that an introduction, whatever it is, no matter what kind of introduction it is, it ends with a thesis statement. Don't forget the thesis statement. The thesis statement in an American essay, remember we talked about them being linear, like a line? They have to be very obvious. You have to explain it to people. You have to say it out loud. So the thesis statement comes at the end of any kind of introduction. The general to specific, the funnel introduction, the anecdote introduction, or the past to present or historical introduction, and it comes at the end of the introduction. For example, I thought this picture was rather cute. Guy laughing, he looks very happy. And maybe your thesis statement is, in order to be happy, people need to feel that there is a purpose to their lives, like we saw at the beginning. And that's the end of this little video. It's a short one, and it's only about the introductory paragraph. You can write an introductory paragraph in all kinds of ways. You can write it much longer than this. You can write it shorter than this. You can write all introductory paragraphs in all kinds of ways, but these are 3 ways that are useful. Now remember, your introductory paragraph in a 5-paragraph essay is really only about 20%, 1/5 of your essay. So don't make your introduction a whole page long, because if you do, you're going to have to write a 5-page essay. So think about that and keep your introduction short and focus it on the thesis statement. Thanks a lot for watching.